Hello and welcome to the 90s. I guess I never changed how I dress. Wait a minute. Oh. Hello, fellows of the blue, and welcome to my channel. I started the hobby in the 90s, which means these were my first set of paints, and I have a special place in my heart for them. But since then, all of those paints have dried solid, or I've simply just run out of them at some point. Luckily, for old kids like me, Warcolours has started to make the Nostalgia 94 range, a new range of paints meant to be exactly identical to the old Citadel range, both in color matching and behavior. The initial launch at the time of recording this video is of 10 paints, including 1 metallic and 1 wash. Warcolours have told me the rest of the range will appear during this year, with the idea being that the full range will be available for the 30th anniversary of the range at the beginning of 2024. One thing that is very important to understand is that Warcolours is a one-man operation. It's literally one single person designing, making, bottling and shipping everything. Releasing the whole range at once is almost impossible, so 10 paints will have to do for now. I've used the original paints extensively, so I would like to see if these new ones really feel like those old paints. These paints were sent to me free of charge, but no money has changed hands. This is not a sponsored video, and this review is my opinion and mine alone. Let's get cracking. So this is the initial launch, just 10 colors, and yes, I would have liked a bit more, but these 10 serve as a perfect launch for the Nostalgia 94 range. We have Skull White, Chaos Black, Sunburst Yellow, Enchanted Blue, funny enough, one of my favorite blue paints, Blood Red, Bronzed Flesh, Goblin Green of course, Serpent Bite Leather. Yeah, obviously this is meant to be a snake bite leather, flesh wash and mithril silver. And the main claim of this range is that it's an exact copy of the old Citadel range from the 90s. And that is a very difficult claim to test because obviously those paints are long gone, but I happen to have an original Goblin Green. So let's test them out and see if they are almost the same. I also have this. This is one of my, not my first, but one of very, very old minis, and probably one of the first set of minis that I painted. It's an old Bretonnian archer, and I know that this was a snakebite leather, and this was done with enchanted blue, so we can also test those two colors and see if they fit. Here we have the original Goblin Green. Of course it's blocked. And the new Warcolours Goblin Green. Oh. And maybe this is a tad darker. Just a teeny tiny bit. But let's see how they look once they dry, because that will be the crucial test here. Just by feel alone, I can tell that they are very similar in how they behave, and let's leave this to dry and come back to that later. I now want to test Enchanted Blue and a snakebite leather, or serpentine bite leather. This is not the best snakebite leather layer ever done. I'm going to do a patch here, see how they look. And this Enchanted Blue, I'm going to test it here. And let this to fully dry. So our Goblin Green samples are dry, and once dry they are more the same, they are more similar than wet. And funny enough, if you have shown me this and I had to tell from memory which one is the original Goblin Green, I would say the slightly darker hue. It just looks more goblin-y than the real Goblin Green. It just feels that Goblin Green memory better than the original Goblin Green. I'm pretty sure that Citadel back in the day weren't as consistent as they are today with their colors. I'm pretty sure that it will change slightly from batch to batch. I'm pretty certain that Warcolours sampled a slightly different batch of Goblin Green, because the other colors are basically identical. Look at that. I can't tell the difference, just looks exactly like Snakebite Leather, and the blue looks exactly like Enchanted Blue. So why don't we have a little bit of fun and test the rest of the colors using this old Bretonnian archer here to relive the authentic experience. First of all, I think I'm going to base coat the flesh. For this, I'm going to use bronze flesh. Let's see if these apply in the same way I remember. Oh yeah. Welcome to the 90s. They feel exactly the same as what the Citadel paints felt in the 90s. It's just very transparent, very low pigment, and you will have to do several layers of this. So I'm going to paint the blue with Enchanted Blue. I always loved how vibrant and shiny Enchanted Blue is, and it hasn't changed one bit. I think I'm going to go for the classic blue and red color scheme of Bretonnia. So let's experience Blood Red. I used to really like this paint. And yeah, Blood Red, just old Blood Red. Try to do this over black, you are going to suffer. And you might think that I'm saying that in a bad way, but actually no. I really like these paints. And I don't like them because they are what we now think of good paints. I love them because they are flawed. You see, we now have so many good ranges of paint. We have AK 3rd Gen, we have the new Vallejo Game Color, Scale 75 Artist Range, Chimera Colors, and more coming each day. But this paint is doing something different. This paint is not trying to be good. It's not trying to be the best paint. This paint it's just trying to be itself. And with all of its flaws, I love it. Maybe you can say I'm nostalgic, and you are right. That's the whole point of this range of paints, is bring you back to another time, simpler time, at least for me. I'm pretty sure my parents didn't think the same, but for me it was simpler, more enjoyable time, and I'm really enjoying this experience. So I have everything base coated, a couple layers on some places, 3 on others, and it's looking solid and so vibrant. It's great. And I think I want to test the wash. And I do remember Flesh Wash back in the day, and it's just so yellow. I don't get why they chose this pigment for the Flesh Wash, but it's exactly the same pigment that I remember. Yes, super yellowy, but it's just what it is. It's great. And why not try Mithril Silver? This is a weird one because I do remember Mithril Silver to be not this thin. I might be wrong here, but I do remember. I think Mithril Silver wasn't this transparent. But again, I might remember things wrong. I don't know. I'm working from memory here. Maybe as a kid I saw this differently, but I always perceived it as being more opaque than this. So I've tested most of the colors, some off screen, and just to see if they behave, and yeah, all of them behave exactly how I remember, all look exactly how I remember, and all of the comparative tests that I could do are basically perfect. The only thing that I do remember different is Mithril Silver, but obviously I don't have any reference. It might be just me misremembering how things were back then, but maybe not. So do you use Mithril Silver in the 90s? Do you remember it this transparent? Help me, put it in the comments down below. I honestly would love to know. So overall, an amazing set of paints. This just takes me back so many years. It's like being young again. Along with the new paints, they have also released something that I think is pure genius. But now, let's go for the piece of resistance of the package that Warcolours sent me. This marker. This is genius. This is so good that I ordered one in black for all of my armies. This is great. You have to prime it. This is a marker. But once you have it primed, what you do to paint the base rim is just this. I hate painting base rims. But this, oh boy, it's going to make things so much better. Let's go into the conclusions. And now we get to the part where you are expecting me to say if these paints are good or bad, but I think we should understand first what makes a product good. To me, a good product is one that does what it's designed to do as best as possible, and these paints are perfect in that regard. Do they cover and blend as well as AKA 3rd Gen or the new game color? No, obviously not. Those are modern paints designed and optimized to be as good as possible. Nostalgia 94 is not designed to be a modern paint. They are made to be old paints, to take you back to a different time and place, hence the name, and they absolutely excel as that. You know what? These paints are very rare because they do something no other range of paints has done before. They make me smile. They make me happy. So whether you use the old Citadel paints and want a trip down memory lane, you use those paints for your army and can't find a replacement anymore, or you simply are curious what painting in the 90s was like, do yourself a favor and get these paints. They are brilliant. I know they are just 10 colors for now and you're probably missing 1 or 2 paints that you want from back then, but ordering this set now is the absolute best way to make sure you get those paints in the near future. I will leave a link down below in the description to the Warcolours web in case you want to get them. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget that if you like my videos and want to help me make them, you can follow me on social media. You have the links to all my social media in the description below and in the pinned comment of this video. Share and like this video, but most importantly, there is Patreon and channel members. Patrons and members allow me to do all the cool videos that I want to make, and most importantly, they allow me to release them all for free here on YouTube. Perks include access to an amazing Discord community full of lovely people, early access to some of the videos, and now also private one-on-one tutorings. You have 2 tiers options for those, 45 minutes and 3 hours a month. They are feeling fast, so if you want to have a private tutoring with me, don't hesitate and join now. Help me and my family enjoy the list of the coolest persons in the planet, including Chiaroscuris, Giovanni Constanza, Flo, Janner, Mark Belekup, Will Ewig, Terry Denham, Robert Smith, Tyrannosaur, Heather Amstead, Thomas, Stefan Franiati, Howard Holville, Chris Gothenthal, Carlos Rivera, Thomas Ustergaard, Javi Mota, Christoph Moret, Bartolomeu Cajusa, Victor Domen, Nicolas Furnell, Felix Franke, Brendan Smith, Alfredo Phillips, Tine Uchida, Stephanie All, Nick DeMao, David Sutherland, Ryan Nilsson, Oscar Jonathan Thomberg, Dan Mako, Cristalios, Jamie Milligan, Kevin Mian, Darcy Farrar, Chris Fivey, Samuel, Natius Maximus, Aaron Dell, Gareth Smith, Mark Jarvis, Josh Simpson, Charles Harmintas, GeForce, Dr. V, Elena Lindemann, Kieran O'Murthail, and Kevin Sulas. And as for me, I will catch you in the next one. Bye!